Hey guys, thanks for joining us on Crossing the Line, a podcast where we talk with leaders about the moments in their life when they cross that line from leading with their head to leading with their heart, and then from leading with their heart to leading with their head. But today we're doing something a bit different. Here at Eagle, we believe that everyone is a leader. In fact, we all lead at least one person, and that person is ourselves. So we wanted to give you some tools to help you to lead yourself and to lead those around you, both professionally and personally, maybe more effectively. You might say, Larry, why are we doing that? Why are you going to do that? Well, let me tell you the story. There was a man, a little old man. He was walking down the road, and as he was walking down the road, he heard something. He heard something say, "Hey, little old man." And he turned around and he looked, and there was this frog on the ground. And the frog said, "Hey, if you will pick me up and kiss me, I'll turn into a beautiful princess that will live with you forever." And the little old man looked down at the frog. He bent down and picked up that frog, but instead of kissing him, he just put him in his sweater pocket and he kept walking. And the frog said, "Hey, little old man, I said if you'll kiss me, I'm going to turn into this beautiful princess who will live with you forever." The little old man just kept walking, and by this time the frog's just getting exasperated, and he said, "Hey, I said if you will just kiss me, I will turn into a princess that will live with you forever." About that time, the little old man stuck his hand in his sweater pocket and pulled out the frog, looked at him and said, "At my age, I'd rather have a talking frog," and put the frog back in his sweater pocket and went on. And, I can relate to that. Where I am in life, I want to make sure that I give you something of value, something that you can truly value. And I think what we're about to talk about, I think it's a game changer. I've seen it be a game changer and a life changer. You see, we're going to talk about, just for a few minutes, the make a difference personality profile. But wait, stop. Don't hit the pause. Don't hit the stop button. I'm not just talking about profile. This is not yet another tool or another test, another personality test for you to take. That is not what this is about. I want to equip you with some practical, just things you can apply immediately in your own life that will help you in what I call gap areas that I've seen through the years. And it kind of works like this. I've seen people who would say to me, "Larry, I'm trying to talk to somebody and they just can't hear me." Have you ever had that happen to you? I know I have. I've been talking to someone, but I knew he couldn't hear me, or I knew she couldn't hear me. Have you ever had that experience? It's really frustrating, whether it's at home, maybe with a spouse or a loved one or someone you care about, your children, and you think you're communicating, you think you're talking, but they're not speaking the same language you are. They're certainly not listening to what you're saying. Same thing at work. We have these teams that are supposed to be high-performing teams, and we have these people that we're supposed to interact with and communicate with and incentivize. And so many times there's a communication breakdown. No doubt, no question, hands down, data supports the number one issue that plagues a good, strong team being effective and executing well is communication, or a lack of communication, a struggle to communicate. Why is that? Why can't they hear you? I had a guy that came to me and he said, "Larry, I've got this company, this engineering manufacturing company, and we have these engineers, and they're really good. We find that there's an engineer who, he or she is really good at what they do, really skilled. And then we have this need. So to grow and to lead a team, so we promote them to lead this team." And he said, every time we do this, we promote them and the team struggles. The team, it really, really has a hard time with this person that we've just promoted, and this person ultimately gets frustrated and they leave. And now I've lost a great skilled engineer and I've lost a leader. He says, "What is going on?" And I've seen this cycle happen professionally and personally when people aren't equipped, when they don't have the tools to lead people who are different than they are, who are different emotionally, who are different in their communication style. And that's why we develop this make a difference personality work. And it's not, listen, it's not about a tool. There are a lot of tools out there. The disc profile is wonderful. The Myers-Briggs is wonderful. The Insight, wonderful. All kind of things. You know, the Enneagram, wonderful. But here's the problem. We take these assessments and we get all into it and then we try to use it in the moment. You see, those assessments are really good for knowledge about ourselves, but when we try to use them in the moment, many times we struggle. You know, what am I? What color am I? Am I pink, blue? What am I? What is she? Now, what is he? How do I connect to that other? Now, what does those colors mean? And we get, or am I INTQ? What is he? Is he a IVX? You know, and we don't know. We get letters and colors, and we try to figure it out in the moment. And by the time we have to think through all that, the moment's passed, the chance to communicate's gone, and they just aren't very usable in the moment. Well, I did a little research around that. And I found out the reason for that is that as human beings, our brains neurologically are predispositioned for stories and word pictures. I told you a story about the little old man and the frog, and you were probably visualizing that story as I told it to you. Well, same thing is true when we try to use tools or try to use applications, is if we can paint a word picture, then we can remember. Let me show you what I mean. I want you to think about this for just a minute. White picket fence. White picket fence. Right now, you can say you're not, but you are. You're thinking about a what? White picket fence. Now, your fence may be taller in your mind than what mine is in my mind, or maybe a little different shade of white. But you're thinking, we all are thinking about a white picket fence. We can't help it because neurologically, our brains are predispositioned to quickly download and assess word pictures. So, I've used word pictures to help us in this make a difference concept. And guys, I'll just be honest with you. The concepts that we're using, they're not new, they're not mine. I did not invent them. They went all the way back to years before a guy by the name of Carl Jung, and even before that, they created these and developed and discovered these tendencies, and we all have these personality tendencies, and they're all interchangeable and interwoven. We'll talk a little bit about it. All I did was take things that are truth, science, human science, and I've put it in a practical way, a practical process that we can use very easily. So we're going to use word pictures so that you can more effectively lead yourself and lead those around you. I've broken these personality traits into 4 traits, just 4. The much-loved monkey, the leading lion, the competent camel, and the tranquil turtle. Now, those are just word pictures. They're word pictures to help us use these tools. But I'm telling you, it's pretty powerful. I've seen people use this in their home and totally change the dynamic of the relationship with their significant other, with their spouse. Totally change the way they parent their children, who are very different and each have different personalities, but learning to speak the language of others, learning to speak that much loved monkey language. If you're a leading lion, man, that's powerful. In the work setting, incredibly powerful. When you have a camel trying to lead a group of lions, or a much-loved monkey trying to lead a group of camels or turtles. If you learn to do that, wow, you can get results. Incredible results. So I want us to spend some time learning about that. The way I've broken this down, I want you to imagine a horizontal line, just a horizontal line, and on the right side of the line, you're going to have E, which stands for extrovert, and over here on the left at the far end, you're going to have I, which represents introvert. I want you to now think about a vertical line that intersects that horizontal. If you're listening, I'm just drawing 4 quadrants. At the top of that vertical line is a P, at the bottom is a T, that stands for people and task. So let's think about that. That gives us 4 quadrants. Think about 4 different boxes, if you will. In that top right-hand box, that box where the horizontal and vertical axis are, that's a people-oriented extrovert. Well, we call those much-loved monkeys. Much-loved monkeys. Drop down in the right lower quadrant, that task-oriented extrovert, we call that leading lion. Move over to the left quadrant. That's a task-oriented introvert, competent camel. Competent camel. Up top, that's that person-oriented introvert. We call that tranquil turtle. Now I know all that's confusing, but don't worry. We're going to break this down. We're going to learn how to speak the language of the much-loved monkey. How do you speak the language of the leading lion? How do you speak the language of the turtle and the camel? And why is this important, Larry? Why are you doing this? Why is this important? Here's why. Because it can change your life. And because my mission in life is to help others to create and facilitate personal growth and wisdom so that you can make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. And this is what this is about. It's giving you some wisdom. It's giving you some practical tools. So the goal is, in the next few sessions on this podcast, we're going to walk through the personality traits, these monkeys and turtles and lions and camels, but way more important than that. Those word pictures will help you. You'll be able to use them. You'll be able to quickly identify. We call that blinking. We'll talk about that later. But you'll be able to identify who it is that you're talking to, and you'll be able then to speak that language. Then you're going to even be able to do something more than that. You're going to be able to validate each of those personality types. And when you start validating others in a way that they can receive it, then you have just earned the right to influence. And when you earn the right to influence, you earn the right to lead. You earn the right to truly impact lives. So this is important. It's going to be good. I'm really excited about it. My hope and my desire is that as we walk this journey together, that you will walk away with a new way of thinking, a new construct, if you will. We call it reframing. And if you can reframe how you communicate to those who are important to you, man, you can change their life and you can change your life. So when you decide that I'm going to become a student, I'm going to learn, I'm going to reframe, I'm going to learn how to truly speak these languages, when you do that, that's when you're going to make a difference in the lives of those you love, you live with, and lead. I'm excited about it. Let's get going. Next time, next podcast, we're going to jump in and we're going to look at each of these personalities in the next few weeks. You come along with us. That's how you're going to make a difference.